a melody in the middle of the war. In a city ravaged by war, where every studio, theater, and museum bore the scars of conflict, culture had been brought to its knees. But no one was mourning. Not when a great battle raged not far away, casting the shadow of defeat over a country and its people. In this grim reality, everyone was a prisoner of their own thoughts, alone, even in a crowd. Then he arrived. An unknown singer, his drafting to the army miraculously suspended, was brought to a makeshift studio to sing a song. Two grim-faced men in uniform waited for him. When he arrived at the studio, two people in uniform were waiting for him. What a privilege for an unknown signer. They stopped his drafting to the army, an incredible feat for those days. To bring him here to sing a song. He sat in front of a microphone that had seen better days. The equipment was as old as he was. But the stern faces in front of him took him out of wondering. They were ready to record, and they signaled him. Before he sang, he had a question. Would any of this help? I feel bad singing here while my comrades are throwing their lives away. The two army men said, "You will do more than any of them. Just sing." He looked at the song lyrics in his hand. It was wrinkled from his touch. He has been reading it over and over. And it's not like it was hard to memorize. He had it all and clear in his head from the first go-through. And it was beautiful, touching, and simple. He looked at the microphone and he was scared, for he knew something ominous would happen if he opened his mouth. Those people knew something he didn't know. It felt like making a mistake. It was just a song, he thought to himself. Then, like jumping from a high cliff, he started singing. He sang about a girl sitting on the riverside under the blooming apple trees, waiting for her lover's letters to come. A lover who is fighting on the front line. While he protected the land, she protected his love. The music was touching, and he knew he had given all his emotions, as he felt very drained. The record was collected and rushed to the radio station. The singer went home, for his rule was over. He felt content, even though he had to be on the train going west tomorrow. He thought that he had left something significant behind. A piece of him that may survive far longer than his mortal body. The singer came into the train, a train that would go for hours and hours on end. He thought that this invasion might shorten the ride, yet even in those dark times, his country was still vast. He saw the wonders of nature and the great cities as he rode by. He smiled for a while, knowing that it won't be all for nothing. That his sacrifice may bring better times for the next generation. 2 decades ago, his country was embroiled in a conflict that they thought was the end of the world. However, it seems that they needed another reminder. After this one, there will be none. This war will end all wars. Since the suffering it brought to this world was heavy and prolonged, nobody wants to fight anymore, and nobody wants such a calamity again to touch this planet. All he and his fellow citizens have to do is endure one more day. The mood on the train grew dimmer as they approached their destination. Even the sky reflected their mood, as the blue sky was replaced with dark clouds that mirrored the content of their hearts. Then they heard it. It was far at first, then it grew closer, the sound of falling shells. It wasn't like New Eve's fireworks. The sound was full of anger and evil. It shook them down to their heart. As the sound grew louder, their nerves loosened, and some started to panic silently. Then, one soldier started singing, and he sang his song. His voice was quiet at first. Then other soldiers followed. The whole train sang his song, and his heart shivered. The sound of shells grew louder, and so did his song. The warmth of their collective voices began to replace the fear in their hearts. They whistled, all in unison. The train parked and vomited its contents onto the battlefield. Soldiers emerged from the train with hesitation. One of them shouted, "For the woman waiting at the riverside." All shouted and ran into the fray. He followed, but not with fear, with a trance of emotion he had never felt. He was one with his fellow soldiers, full of resolve and determination, and they stormed the battlefield. The rest was history. He doesn't remember what happened that day or the day after, and he wouldn't like to. Somehow, the only memory he still held deep was that his fellow men were singing his song. The song did make a change beyond what a lone soldier could do. It brought them solace in hell and hope in despair. It was more potent than any weapon. Now, every year they broadcast the song and celebrate it in military parades. Only a few still remember how it felt then. But they also forgot how the calamity felt too, for those young people want another war. They speak about it in smiles and giggles. They think it's a computer game, that the war won't touch them, that only glory will come from the battlefield, that hunger, fear, anguish, and suffering won't send their fangs toward them. He tried to tell them time after time, but it seems that man is doomed to repeat the past because he so easily forgets it. What do you think? Comment below. Subscribe for more. The Counselor SFTG.